Good day, my name is Johanna Zita, and today we'll be talking about contemporary socio-economic issues, grade 10. What are the lesson's aim? Now, at the end of this lesson, learners must be able to understand how socio-economic issues affect business operations. They must understand the impact of socio-economic issues on businesses. They must also identify socio-economic issues from given scenarios, and they must be able to support their answers by quoting from different scenarios. Socio-economic issues are problems that result from certain aspects in society and the economy, and they have a negative influence on both communities and businesses. They include HIV/AIDS, poverty, and unemployment. Now, teaching strategy and method that I will be using during my lesson. For teaching strategy, I will be using cooperative learning, which is a way of teaching in which learners work together to ensure that all members in their groups have learned and assimilated the same content. We also have deductive approach, which I would start by explaining a few general statements and then apply them to a specific case related to the socio-economic issue. We also have discovery learning, whereby learners will be encouraged to explore and interact in learning environment. And on teaching methods, we have learner-centered method, which involves participative learning in the form of discovery learning and inductive or inquiry learning, and place a much stronger emphasis on the learner. We also have teacher-centered method, which will be used, which is concerned with direct instruction, deductive teaching, and are exemplified by the now introduction that connects with prior knowledge and describe the purpose of the lessons. Since we have just completed the microenvironment as part of the 3 business environments from the previous chapter, learners are to complete the worksheet to see that they remember the different elements of the macro environment. This lesson, which we are on currently, is based on one of the macro environmental elements, namely the social element. Contemporary socio-economic issues are embedded within this micro-environmental element. So, what is contemporary socio-economic issues? Okay, the development of content and connect with prior knowledge. Socio-economic issues include poverty, inclusivity, inequality, unemployment, crime, and HIV/AIDS, amongst others. Learners are to read from page 9 of their core notes or to refer to their textbook on the relevant pages regarding socio-economic issues. Learners must know what impact socio-economic issues have on businesses. In the table, we have definitions and examples of some of the concepts that you need to know, as well as how this content will be assessed. Consolidation. In this lesson, you were introduced to the socio-economic issues which impact business operation. It is important to remember these issues when we discuss social responsibility. It is important that you remember that contemporary socio-economic issues form part of the business environment, but that social responsibility would form part of the main topic of the business rules. Assessment during the lesson, which is an assessment which will be given to the learners during their assessment. Learners are expected to explain the meaning of copyrights, and possible answer may be a type of intellectual property that protects original work of the owner, or any other relevant answer. And they must be able to explain the impact of the following socio-economic issues on businesses, which are HIV/AIDS, strike, and inequality. And the possible answer to that would be HIV/AIDS causes decrease in productivity, which might lead to unemployment. Lack of employment leads to poverty. Poor people don't have buying power and would not be able to afford expensive non-essential products. Businesses must be sure of their target market first. And for their homework, which is an activity from their textbook, page 19, learners are expected, number 1, to mention any 4 issues which could contribute directly to the high unemployment figures in South Africa. Number 2, they must suggest 4 ways in which unemployment can be addressed in our country. And number 3, inclusivity is an essential part of any business. They must explain. And 4, they must define the term inclusivity. And 5, explain the benefits of diversity in the workplace. Reflection. On reflection, this was one of the most interesting lessons as the learners were engaging and participating, and the resources which were used were also helpful to understand. The only problem that we might have encountered was that time was not on our side. Next time we would need more time to be allocated, or the content can be divided into 2 sections to accommodate each and every subtopic.